So here we are at the end of my ninth grade trimester in the third trimester of my ninth grade year. So for this video, I'm gonna go over like I did for the past two other videos, my third, trimester experience in ninth grade, I guess. I don't know. So don't really know where to start with this because the trimester, it felt way faster than the first and the second one. So I don't know. So for the school parts I'll talk about, there's not really much to talk about, like, at all. So for the school parts, I don't know, they're pretty easy. I mean, my new classes are a little bit weird, even though I only had technically one new class. All the other ones were just old ones from the other two trimesters. So what was this new class I was in? Well, it's called programming. And in programming, you had to program laptops, and that's an elective I had. And if you're in high school, you probably already know what electives are. I mean, you should. Basically, you get a choice to pick, certain classes. For me, there was four. There was art, programming, music, and desktop publishing. Now, I'll let you take a wild guess on which one I picked. It was music. But I didn't get into it because, well, I don't even know why I got into it or didn't get into it. Because some people that did go into music, they didn't want it in the first place. So yeah, that was a wasted opportunity. But yeah, that was the only interesting part about my classes, since all the others were nearly the same. The only real difference in my classes were that I don't think I explained this in my second trimester video, which I think I privated that or unlisted it, because usually after like a few weeks I unlist those videos, because I don't know what people from my school would think of the videos, but then at the same time, only like very, very few friends actually know my videos, which is actually only 2 people. So, I mean, it can't really be that bad if I unlist them, or they just stay up. But in the second trimester, one of my teachers left because his wife got a job somewhere, and basically decided, well, yeah, we'll just move down to, I don't remember where exactly it was, but he moved away. So he wasn't a teacher anymore, but he only taught here for like 3 to 4 years or 7 years, or I can't really remember how many years he taught, but yeah, I don't know, some people were sad, but then some people weren't because he was a really quiet teacher. Oh yeah, you probably noticed I used this Sonic footage like in my past like 3 videos, I think, or maybe just, I use it a little bit more. So the reason for that is because I had a Roblox clip I was using for my background footage, but I kind of deleted it and I can't get it back. The only way I could actually get it back is if I download one of my old videos again. So yeah, that's why I keep on playing the Sonic footage. The only other clips I have, they're very short clips and they wouldn't, go as long as I want. But back to the school stuff. In third trimester, I had a teacher, a math teacher. We'll name her Dr. H. I don't know why we called her doctor, but that's what we called her. She was our math teacher for only first trimester, but then the third one, she left because she just didn't like the rules of the school, which, well, no one can really blame her. I mean, okay, let's take the bathroom rule, for example. You can only go to the bathroom for, well, you can only go once a week, or once a week for that class. So it's pretty weird. You can't go like 2 times in that same week in that same class. It's a weird rule, so I can see why she left. And plus the dress code's pretty strict for a school. I mean, you have to tuck your shirts in or you'll have detention, but if you wear a sweater, then you can negate that rule. There's a lot of weird rules in the school that I might have explained in my past 2 trimester videos, but I'm not sure. Maybe I'll talk about it in another separate video. But yeah, that's why she left. Some people were sad about it, but that was really it, because, well, she was kind of one of the nicest and most laid-back teachers, except she was a little bit too laid-back. So, yeah. And now there's on to students in the school. So, there was a few interesting students in the school. So first, oh, okay, a little bit of a voice crack, but first, there was a lot of couples in the school, which isn't really a bad thing. Well, not really. Kind of depends, but it was kind of a weird phenomenon that was happening. I don't even know if I can use that word, but yeah, basically it's probably like after week 4, because I don't usually say what month it is. I like to say weeks. But after week 4, it was like everybody was just getting in a couple together. Then there's me. I wasn't, because I was doing with someone else, sorta. Which I'll get to them in a bit, but yeah, everybody's getting in a couple. It was kind of crazy. In my friend group, actually, it was like majority of the table is in couples. At least by the end of the year. By the end of the year, it was like everybody was in couples. Like one day I was sitting at the table and I realized I was literally the only person, besides from my friend Matt, that was in a couple with somebody. So yeah, I found that to be crazy. Yeah, okay, to be honest, overall there wasn't really anything too interesting this trimester. Like, I guess the other thing about class, well, it isn't really a class, it's a club I'm in. Well, the club I was in was called Uno Club. And basically, I bring my own Unos to the club. So, what were those Unos, you probably might be asking? Well, it was Uno Flip and Uno No Mercy. Now, in the second trimester, I brung both of those games, like, only once. Actually, no. I brung No Mercy twice, and then I brung Uno Flip at least 4 times. But that was last trimester. This trimester, I brung Flip, like, once, and then I brung Mercy at least over 7 times. Now, if you are a Uno player like me, and you know Uno No Mercy, you know that that game is hard. Very, very hard to play. And it kind of depends on luck a little bit. Well, no, a lot of it, since that's what I see Uno as, a luck game. And Uno Flip is, well, actually it's way more tame than Uno No Mercy. Kind of depends on which side you flip on. Because maybe you had a 5+ on one side, and then we flipped it, and now you have a normal card that doesn't even match the deck. Now, I brung those about, like 7 times maybe, at least Uno No Mercy, but eventually I had my whole club group just tired of that game, which was also my friend group besides from like one other guy, or 2 other guys, but yeah, they got tired of it because, well, if you play No Mercy, it takes a long time. If you're playing with like 2 or 3 people, I mean, it wouldn't really take that long, but we were playing with, there was like 12 of us, or 11, one of the 2, and that deck is doubled, so everybody eventually, got tired of that, and are tired of the long games, since the club, it only went up to 30 minutes, and then we went to lunch. The game took 30 minutes just with us, or at least 28 minutes, if we're being realistic, so everybody got tired of it. And eventually, well, the club, it wasn't even Uno Club anymore. It was just the Club 2.0. That's also another club in my school. That's what it's called. But, yeah, so I think I got through all of that. So I guess I gotta get through the one person I was talking about just a few minutes earlier. Now, last trimester video, aka the second one, I talked about somebody, I don't know if I said her name or not. So I'll just say her initial, or just her nickname, which is PJ. So I talked about her like a little bit. I talked about that she started talking to me first, and then eventually after a month we started dating, and then a month later she got angry at me because I told people that we were dating, and I think in that video I said I felt bad because I disappointed her. Now eventually, when I got into the 3rd trimester, in the middle of that break from 2nd and 3rd, since we get, a little 2-week break, I was thinking about what I said, and think about that video, even though I think I made that video like after I thought about this. I thought that I didn't really do anything bad, because I mean, if we're being realistic, I really didn't, since that's literally like the most normal thing that happens in a couple. People ask you if you're together, and then you probably say yeah, and that's exactly what I did. I just said yeah, but I said don't tell anybody else, which I mean they're gonna tell other people anyway, but I don't get what the big deal is. So yeah, I mean that's pretty suspicious, and it was a little bit weird. Sometimes I would talk to her and she would say she wanted, well, actually I'm not really there yet, but yeah, so I was a little confused about that. It was weird that she was angry at me for that, but I was still talking to her, and she said she wanted to get back together with me. I said I like to too, but here's the thing, she was really untrustworthy, like a lot. But I kept on thinking about that. I might have gotten off track here, but kept on thinking about how I was the disrespectful one, but just didn't make sense to me. But there was something I said to her like about like a month or two later that, okay, it's not a little bit controlling, but I'll get to that later. But each time I told my friends about it, they said, maybe you should move on. Or others said, well, actually, no, yeah, that was exactly what they said. They said I should move on, but I don't know, I just didn't really feel like it. I mean, didn't really have much else to do. But I'll talk about her strange girlfriend, I guess. I don't know, this is a weird segment in the story. So I've had 4 different haters in the school, and one of them was her random girlfriend, in quotations, because they didn't even know if they were dating or not, or they didn't even know when they started dating, so it was really weird. But here's what happened. There was a girl in my school named Jemiah. I didn't really talk to her. Actually, no, yeah, I didn't talk to her at all, because just didn't feel like it. She tried adding me once, but then they added her and then unadded her on Snapchat. Wow. But basically, she randomly said this, or PJ just randomly said this thing to me. She said that her and Jemiah were together. Now, in the second trimester, I just keep on backtracking here, but in the second trimester, she said, I kept on asking her, are you and another girl like together? And she said, just leave me alone. So, okay, that's a weird answer, but whatever. And I walked away after that. But in the start of the third one, she said it was true. Now, it was really weird, because I said, is this a ruse to like get all the heat off of us? Even though I really did not care about what anyone thought, because it was weird, because I guess she had a negative thought about everybody thinking about us, even though each time someone asked me, I was like, oh, maybe you're just curious. That's literally it. But then PJ seen it as like the worst thing in the world for whatever reason. But yeah. So alright, I guess I could start from the first week of the third one. I didn't really talk to her that much, because it was something my friend Taylor in Sahar, well, okay, actually no, it was just Sahar that said this, really. But she said that, PJ's dating Jemiah now, but she couldn't tell you because she's really mean. So I said, oh, okay. And then later on in, technology, my technology class, which actually this is week 2, not 1, so sorry, but in week 2, I was like depressed in that class. My friend Jade see me, it felt really bad. But yeah, I didn't talk to perfection like that week at all, I think. But then it was in like the third week. Stuff was getting, I mean, I guess a little bit crazy, but not totally. Basically, I decided to walk her out of the school, like walk with her out of the school, PJ. And basically, Jemiah seen me with her, and she got really jealous over it, because I was just walking with her. That's literally it. So, yeah, she started crying over it, which is probably the stupidest thing to cry about, to be honest. Yeah, it didn't make much sense to me, because all I did was walk her out of the school, but, yeah, I don't know. I mean, if you're gonna cry about that, I don't think you're really ready for a relationship if you have that much of big trust issues. But it was random. So then eventually I just walk away like 20 minutes later after waiting with perfection. And it's about later on that night, or later on that day, it was like, I don't know, like 10 o'clock or something. She does a whole dump on me. You know, sad, depressing, talkative dump. Like, not a trauma dump, but like a dump. I don't know how to explain it, but she basically like says a lot to me, or yeah, she goes on a rant. That's the word I'm looking for. She goes on a rant, and she just rants about a lot of stuff to me. And it just sounded really sad. I was like, I don't know if I should feel bad or yeah. In trimester, or not trimester, and also in week 2, something bad happened. She had a little incident that sent her to a hospital, so that made me feel really bad a little bit. So I had to ask my old friend R, if you remember. I think you might remember R. You probably don't. The videos didn't get many views, so I doubt anybody actually remembers those. But if you watched trimester 1, you remember I talked about a girl named R that I used to like, but I didn't really like her anymore. And plus, she like dates my best friend now, so happy for them. because, well, now she's in my friend group, so that's cool, but I'm getting off track. Basically, I asked her, do you know what happened to PJ? And she says, oh yeah, she smoked a coffee, or I don't even know what she said. I'm just gonna say vape. She smoked a vape, and then she started like coughing profusely, or I said that wrong, but started coughing a lot, and then they were just in the hospital for it. It was a heart attack. That's what happened. So yeah, I felt really bad. But when she texted me, when I texted her first, "Are you okay?" She said that she was sorry, in like all caps. So yeah, she says she's sorry about that, and then I don't know, we talked like a little bit, but not very much, and that's that. And then in trimester 3, well, okay, it's pretty boring, but I'm gonna skip to trimester 6. But before I skip to that, I should have mentioned actually the 3 other major haters I had in school. And it's funny because if you actually interact with me in real life, you'd see nothing hateable about me. So there wasn't really a clear reason to hate me, or not like a big one, except I'm gonna explain why they hate me. So there was this guy named Mouse that hated me apparently. I didn't really talk to him very much, so I don't know why, but I didn't talk to any of my haters that much, so whatever. But I think we're cool now. I can't really tell because I barely talked to that guy. Then there was Jemiah, but that's self-explanatory. Then there is this guy named Trayvon, which I really didn't like myself, like at all. Never liked him at the start of school year, and still don't like him now. So yeah. And then there was a guy named James. I'm gonna get to him in a little bit because he's actually the main part of this week 6 story, or everything after that. But yeah, he hated me too. Now, why all of them hate me? Just take a wild guess. It was because I dated PJ. Yeah, that's literally the only reason why they hated me, which is a pretty stupid reason, but it was whatever. But now in week 6 or 5, I don't really know when this happened, but basically PJ randomly says to me that this one guy named James just suddenly has a crush on her. It was really random, but yeah, basically, there wasn't really much I could say about this segment, I guess, even though it's like sort of a big segment. It's because of himself, but basically he's a really touchy guy, and she kept on saying to me, oh, you gotta be my knight, and you gotta slay this, this dragon for me. And I was like, I can't really do much. I mean, I can. Like, what am I gonna do? Tell him stop? I already tried that. Actually, yeah, I did try that. So in week 4, I guess, or 5, I said, you're really touchy, James. So I'm gonna explain to you how this whole thing went down. This whole conversation. So I said, you're really touchy, James. You should really, like, respect our personal space. And then James said, what? And I said, you should respect our personal space. And then he just says, yeah, master. And I wanted to punch him so badly, but didn't, because I didn't want to get suspended for like 14 days and 2 or 3 weeks. So I didn't. And then Perfection asked me if I'm mad at her, or PJ. I mean, I already said her name, so I might as well just say both of them. So how this thing goes down, she asked me, oh, are you mad at me? And I said a little bit, but I said a lot at James. And then she gets angry at me for being angry at her, because for the reason I gave. I said, oh, you should have pushed him away, because he was all touchy again and gave her a hug, and kind of weirded me out, or weirded like actually everybody out, because literally everybody has said the same thing as me, that he's really touchy. So yeah, I said that. And then she got angry at me for getting a little bit angry at her over something that wasn't in her control, which, I mean, it wasn't. She can't control how he moves, but I mean, you could control, pushing him out the way. And then she said some random dumb thing that really made no sense, that, oh, he had me in a corner, and there wasn't even a corner. She was like pushed back behind the ledge, but guess what? The ledge had a left and right side you could just move to the sides from. So, really dumb statement, but, tried to be nice. I didn't say that because I'm like an overly nice person. Like, not in my facial expressions, I'm just like overly nice. I'm not really mean to anybody. I mean, I'm sarcastic, but I mean, my sarcasm is more of a comedic thing. But yeah, try not to be mean, but yeah, I was walking with her and their friends Taylor and Sahara, which I spoke about earlier, and she was just angry at me the whole time. So eventually, I just walk away after Taylor and Sahara go to their bus stops, because I thought, oh, all this negative energy isn't good for me. So yeah, and then yeah, now my school we get 10-minute breaks. I think I explained that in the past 2 videos, but not sure if I did. But in my 10-minute breaks, usually I'll just go to her class and attempt to talk to her, but she's always swarmed by a lot of people, because I guess she's really popular for whatever reason. But yeah, I was just talking to her. She said, hey, she make James jealous. And one time I gave her like some of my jewelry, because I have like a lot of jewelry. Some of it I rarely use, and then others I use a lot, which is the ones I never give away. But I gave her these new ones I had because I didn't think I was going to use them. Except now that I think about it, I think I was going to use them actually, like a lot. For all my outfits now, you know, for the summer. But I gave them to her. She said, oh, James took them. I was like, oh yeah, and Caden. Because Caden was one of his friends, but I didn't really mind Caden because he was cool at least. He wasn't as weird as James. But yeah, so they took her jewelry, and I was like, oh, great. And then that's really that. And sometimes I sat at our lunch table, but she gave me this vibe that I did not belong there. Which, well, actually, okay, to be honest, I didn't, because actually everybody at that table, so there was a lot of people there. So one of them was a girl I didn't talk to. I didn't know her name, but I don't think she had a problem with me. But for her main friend group, there was Aaliyah, Taylor, Sahara, Lily, Jemiah, and I think that was it. A guy named Josiah used to sit there, but he doesn't usually sit there. But I didn't talk to anybody at that table, like not on the usual basis of my other friends. So yeah, I didn't really belong there, since it was pretty evident that I only sat there just to talk to PJ. But yeah, but sometimes I would sit there, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go back to my table. Now eventually, okay, so I think this is week 9 or 8, maybe even 10. I don't remember which week it was, but eventually I thought, you know, maybe I should be honest with her. Now usually I don't try to be mean when I'm honest, because that's usually what honesty comes off to be, like rude. But I thought, well, there's no other way I could be honest, so might as well do it. So I sent her like 5 voice messages on Snapchat. There are things I thought and stuff, and things that just seem logical to me. And she got angry at me for all this. And then I just started reasoning, and I started just giving explanations and explaining everything I said, because that's what I do for like everything I do. But she got angry at me for that, and yeah. Now one of the things she said was that I sounded controlling and manipulative and narcissistic. She didn't say I sounded narcissistic, but she said that I sounded really controlling. And I only cared about myself, which kind of goes under the narcissistic, you know, word, but. Now, what was this possible thing that the guy said that sounded so controlling? Well, I said, well, one of the things I said a week prior was that, well, just choose somebody then. Because James was still on her tail, and I said, just choose somebody, which, I mean, that's literally the only logical answer. I mean, it's a pretty easy thing, but she said it's hard. No, I didn't question why she said it was hard, but I should have, you know, maybe questioned that. But, yeah, I didn't question it, but I was like, okay. And then another thing she said was that, I don't even remember all the messages. Since there were voice messages, I can't really remember them too well. And plus I unfriended her, so it's not like I could look back at them. And even if I could, Snapchat just deletes messages. So, yeah. I guess one of the things she said that everything I said just comes back to me. It always comes back to JJ. And then there was something else she said, which was, I'm a pushover. VITCH. Now, I don't even know what that means. You know, search it up. Still didn't really know what a pushover was. I guess it's someone that's affected by other people easily, but like affected by what other people say. Which, I mean, the things that other people said, it just sounded more true than whatever she said. So, wouldn't call me a pushover. So, yeah, it didn't make much sense. And then, yeah, but like. Everything she said was just negative about me for whatever reason. And in person, when we had talked to each other, she was always mean to me. And just she said, oh, it's just my way of showing my love, which kind of made sense, but then kind of didn't make sense. Or hitting me. like playfully, since I did it first, and then she did it back. She said, "Oh, it's my way of touching you, because it's the only time I can." Even though she really could have like any other time, but whatever. Now, eventually, I sent my final messages, which is, "I can't be your friend anymore." So the reason I said it was because she's just a really negative person. So that technically Crowner is actually my 5th hater in all the 9th grade students. So, whoop-de-doo. But I said it's because you're too negative, you're always rude to me, and you're really untrustworthy. Except I don't even think I said the untrustworthy part, because actually there was a lot of stuff I didn't want to be your friend for, but I didn't say it because, I'm just trying to be nice, I guess. But, yeah. Oh yeah, for all of that, people are very curious about me and her. I remember I was telling my friend Tierney, and she was kind of curious. "So what are you in perfection?" I was like, "Oh, I unfriended her." And she said, "Oh, you did? That's cool." And then my friend Tierney also said that another girl apparently liked me. But then I was questioning, what girl could possibly like me at the end of the trimester? Since this was like week 10 at this point, or 11. Say, because my final week was 14, so there wasn't many weeks left. But basically, I can't say her name. Okay, actually I said like a few people's names in this video, but I guess I won't say hers. But it was this one girl in my friend group. But I was questioning, why did she like me? Since actually, when my friend had told me the first time, I already knew it immediately when she gave me just one hint. It was, I think it was that, I think I asked her like, "Oh, is she tall?" And she said, "Oh, she's a little bit shorter than you," but then she was like, same height as me. I was like, "Oh, well, I knew that immediately." But then she said she wears like colorful clothing usually, not really dark clothing. I was like, And there was one question I could have asked her, which would have made it real obvious. But one thing I know about her is that she reads books like a lot. And I think I already knew who it was. And my friend said that, "Oh, you're right, it is that girl." I was like, "Oh, woohoo!" But she said probably was only in trimester 2. And then kind of immediately felt bad. Like, I don't know why I felt bad. I guess the reason I felt bad was because, well, one, if I never actually dated PJ, or even just interacted with her in the first place, or even friended her, then maybe her and the secret person that has a crush on me could have been together still. From, I don't know, whatever date it was. See, for trimester 2, it was from January to April, so, one of those months, we could have actually started dating in that date instead of me dating with PJ, who never was, ready to date. It kind of just happened. That's the original reason why we broke up. Oh yeah, I guess there's one fact I didn't, put in. But the fact I never put in was that her and James, they started dating. PJ and James, they started dating apparently. So yeah, there's a couple stuff I wanted to say to her. Because there's a lot of mean stuff I really could have said, but I held back because I wanted to be nice. But yeah, I didn't say anything because I didn't want to be mean. But yeah, they eventually got together. And now I purely just hate her now. So yeah, that was my trimester 3 experience, which felt fast, even though this video was literally longer than the 2 other videos by like 30 minutes, which is crazy. But I doubt anybody's gonna watch this video. But if you made it this far, somehow, after all this yapping, that will probably land this video in the Japanese playlist. Thanks for watching, even though this is a long video. Actually, the longest video I made this year. And, yeah, I might make an update video after this. I haven't made one in a long time, but on certain videos I have ideas for.